You can't really see me, it's dark as shit, but I'm gonna go try and see Justice League. Kinda don't want to. Oh, autofocus. Autofocus. There we go. Yeah, if I end up getting a cold from this fucking movie, I'm gonna be pissed. Because I just ran at the gym for about an hour. And then, hey, look, a car's coming. Then took a shower, got dressed, came out here to my car to see if I can catch a screening of this fucking movie. Alright, let's go. So I just saw the Just Us League. Ooh, autofocus. Back at it again. It was good. I liked it pretty much for the most part. The shitty thing about working with Nerd News, God, it keeps going in and out. Okay, we're normal. The shitty thing about working with like nerd and pop culture news a lot is that I knew about the reshoots going in. I knew about all the production trouble. So the shitty thing is that I go in with the mindset to like look for it even subconsciously, but it kind of, after a while, it kind of leveled out a little bit. But there were moments when I could tell that that was a reshoot, that was the original, and it would like jump back and forth. But for the most part, I enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed the characters. This is gonna have spoilers, but whatever, fuck it. Steppenwolf essentially existed to get his ass whooped, which is fine by me. I have no problem with. Cool. He was an alright villain. He was there. He had motivations. Tried to turn the Earth to apocalypse, so that was a thing. God, there we go. Focus up. Okay. What did I think about the characters? I liked Batman. Batman was fine. I like Ben Affleck as Batman. Cyborg he was a little bit of an exposition guy, but I thought Ray Fisher did solid. The Booyah was late. That was late. There was one in the movie, it was late, but whatever. I liked Superman a lot more than any of his other movies, which is really sad. But even though he still doesn't really, they don't like give Henry Cavill that much to do, and it sucks. Like, I want to see a Superman movie with Superman, but you know, we see him saving people, so cool. And he seems like he gives a shit, and he seemed fun. And there's a part where he whoops the shit out the Justice League, and I was dying for a solid 2 minutes. Wonder Woman was my favorite, so you know, she had a lot of chemistry with all the other actors. It was really funny. It was definitely kind of a sausage fest, just like the first Avengers. And the other one, oh, God, Barry Allen. I did not like the Flash. I didn't like him at all. I didn't hate him entirely. He wasn't the worst part of this movie, but I didn't really enjoy his character. I thought half his jokes fell flat. I chuckled at a couple of them. The funniest thing that involved him was watching Superman beat his ass. That was just really funny to me. It also is kind of fucked up that they have a whole fight where the League fights Superman in front of the memorial that was made for like the victims from Man of Steel. That's yikes. Things I think. Oh, and Aquaman. Fuck God, I almost forgot him. He was cool. I think he was at his best near the end. He's starting to kind of get a defined character rolling. I think that's the thing is I think Cyborg probably had the weakest character, but you know. Maybe we'll see him more down the road. Aquaman was a dude bro, surfer dude bro. So I guess that's fine. I don't know if that's in line with the character. Thought Batman was fine. He just kind of feels useless on the team a lot of the time, other than strategy. I don't know if he should or should not be the leader. I guess we'll see going forward with Aquaman solo movie. I'm a little interested in his movie, so hopefully that's good. The underwater, what did I like in this film? I can't like put it into words. It wasn't like the greatest film of all time, but I think it was fun but flawed is what everyone's been saying, and I agree with that. Like, I like the interactions between the characters. The plot isn't really flimsy, but it's like shuffling around a lot of plot beats from other movies and stuff like that, and motivations and stuff. But it feels good to see characters interact with one another and see what their chemistry is like. So that's good. Steppenwolf is a weird villain to me because you see him take on 3 armies with the parademons, and then he's having difficulty with like 6 people. I feel like there's power inconsistencies. But again, he just kind of seemed like he was there to get his ass whooped, and that's fine with me. I liked seeing him get his shit kicked in. It was fun. The Amazonians, that's how you can tell Zack Snyder did that part, because they all had their midriff exposed. And going off of Wonder Woman with that being the last movie, it looks fucking stupid. Atlantis looked alright for the most part. Mera was a bad bitch. Yes! I fucked with Mera so heavy from like seeing her costume and then seeing her in the movie. I'm like, yes, run shit. Let him know what the, like, Mera does not take shit. And that's what I got from her. I'm like, fuck yes, I can't wait to see you next year. So Mera was cool. I understand why they did what they did with bringing back Superman, but I wish we could have had like the healing coma and the black suit. It's sad, but I think a little more fan service would have benefited this film. Like, they should have stroked that DC lore dick just a little more than they did. But I see why they did it. It was kind of to tie in the mother boxes to bring back Superman. It was all right, I guess. Then you have the Hulk moment where Superman fights the League. It feels pretty incomparable to the Avengers, other than the fact that it's like 5 dudes and a woman. And you have that one where like the team goes back and forth with one another, and you have the one fight. There are a couple moments there like it, but the villain's a little flimsier than Loki was. Actually, it's kind of ironic that you have the invasion plot with the relative of someone, of like a character, and then he's like flooding it, and you have them taking on this whole army. Well, at least they ran the army out of the city. You do see the League actually focusing on saving people and taking on Steppenwolf at the same time. So I think that's good for the characters. I'm still a little weird about Batman using guns, but I get it. It makes sense. Like, in the context of the movie, it just feels weird seeing him, even if he's been at for like 20, I don't know. It still feels a little weird with me. The two mid and post credit scene. The mid credit scene was, I didn't ask to see that, for the first one. The second one I thought was interesting. I still hate Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. I still think that was a bad casting decision, but seeing Deathstroke was good. I like his armor, his build. He looks good. He looks like Deathstroke the Terminator, and if they're setting up Legion of Doom for a Justice League 2 movie, that's cool. I would prefer that over them jumping into Darkseid. I think this has many steps in the right direction, but at the same time, there are missteps. A lot of times Superman was on screen, I was focusing on his upper lip, and I hate that I knew about it. And that's part of the reason why I'm like, well, had they just gone with the mullet and the beard and the hair, like all the Photoshop images were, I think that would have worked a little better for it, you know? So you wouldn't have had to worry about CGIing all that bullshit. Just go to the makeup department, hit him with one of those fake lace front motherfuckers and give him a mullet, and that would have been fine. And I think, you know, give him the black suit or some shit. I think that would have been cool. I see why they did what they did, so, you know, but all the effort of having to go back and reshoots and edit out the mustache, kind of, it was shitty. Yeah. It was good in some shots, it was rough in others. His upper lip, like, his mouth just kind of fluctuated in facial hair consistency. And there are moments where you can tell where the reshoots were cut in, and it's a little bit jarring. Ooh, sorry, I'm switching hands because the other one got tired. Okay. Focus. All right, like, there's a scene earlier where the League are talking to one another, and Jason Momoa's hair is like super blonde up to about halfway through, and then you get to the end fight and it's like mostly blonde and the tips are blonde again, and so you can tell. The red sky makes sense to me. I like that the sky was red because he's supposed to be like re-terraforming the planet to be like Apocalypse, and Apocalypse has a red sky. I get it, so I think that worked well for like a recolor. I did not like Lois Lane. I haven't really liked her since Man of Steel. She doesn't feel like Lois Lane. I did not like her acting in this movie. I'm forgetting the actress's name. I want to say it's like Amy, but it's not. But I didn't like her. I didn't like her before. I really didn't like her here. I know she's supposed to be like the heart, but she doesn't feel like a Lois Lane to me. Even when she's still grieving and mourning over Superman, you can still see the engagement ring on her finger. It just doesn't feel like Lois I don't know what it is. Or her acting just felt weak. It felt a little bit phoned in. I didn't like it. It was cool seeing Superman's mom. I noticed she has a country twang, so that's neat. She was there. Some of the green screen was really rough in some of these. Like, I was in my seat, I'd be like, ooh, some of that green screen had really, really rough moments. But overall, the effects for the most part were good. The plot was a little bit weak, but I like what it did to get them together. It's like, we gotta save the world. Just like most team-up films, we gotta save the world. G.I. Joe, Avengers, Suicide Squad for some reason. Guardians of the Galaxy, sort of. We gotta save everybody, so that's cool. I didn't give a fuck about that family. These thoughts are all over the place. There's a family in here that they really use them as just like, oh, because they need people to save at the end. Just show them saving other civilians. I didn't give a fuck. I thought that there's a scene where a little girl grabs a can of Raid because all the parademons look like bugs, and it just has no payoff. Like, they focus on it she's like, oh my god, Russian Raid can, and there's no payoff. So you can tell where scenes were cut to shorten this movie to about 2 hours. So it'll be interesting. We'll see, because I'm imagining there's going to be an extended edition. There's some retconning, I imagine, because they're going to do Wonder Woman 2, and I heard it's still in the past, and they're supposed to still be a Steve Trevor. I think they're doing, like, Vietnam or the Cold War or some shit. But, like, Bruce mentions that she's been gone for 100 years, so that doesn't line up. It is weird that the world doesn't know about Wonder Woman, but they know about, like, Batman and Superman. The dick riding on Superman in the beginning is ridiculous. Which I like the opening of it with the music and kind of showing how the world is now that Superman is dead, which I'm surprised that he made that much of an impact in 4 years now. Yeah, it's been about 4 years because it's 2013, 4 or 5 years. Because I never felt that before. And it feels hollow now. When they try to be like, oh God, Superman, this great savior. Rub those super nipples. It feels hollow. I don't get the sense. I didn't get the sense until the end that, yeah, this is a guy who's like us, who is here to save people and save the world. I didn't get that hero feeling from him. Not a little bit in Man of Steel, not really in Dawn of Justice because he was Superman for 8 minutes. Also, Clark can't do shit now in Metropolis because he died. And humans don't come back from that, so they'll put 2 and 2 together that, hey, Superman died. Hey, Clark died at the same fucking time. So there's no go back to that. You start elsewhere. New identity, new shit. There was one joke I predicted. It was the Batman joke at the end. But they're setting up the Justice League. There was a Green Lantern reference in there, so that was neat. But yeah, overall, the movie was mostly a movie. There are a couple iffy moments, some rough acting. Villain was a little weak, but what are you gonna do? This is definitely, it had some similarities to Marvel, but I can't really compare the two that much. I don't know. They feel different to me. Maybe it's the way they're shot, the way their imagination works and stuff like that. I hope this and Wonder Woman are signs of steps in the right direction. I hope Aquaman is definitely like a blow me away movie, because Aquaman gets like no respect, and I can understand why. It'll be interesting to see them tackle like Surfer Dude, Bromoa, Aquaman, Arthur type shit in this. But yeah, if I had to rate it, 8, 7.5, 8. I'm hoping it doesn't get worse over time, because that's what happened with BVS. But I'd say Wonder Woman was better, but I liked Wonder Woman more in Justice League. Gal Gadot looked great, but I liked her performance and her character, and I did see change from Wonder Woman. I think Wonder Woman is the better movie, but I liked Wonder Woman more in Justice League, and I liked Batman more here. I liked most of the characters more. I just didn't like the Flash. But yeah, that's a review. And now I'm gonna go home or to Walmart or some shit. It's midnight. It's 12:20. I gotta drive. So 40 minutes, a long ass drive. Bye. No disrespect to anyone that rocks these, but there's never gonna be a day where Depends are sexy. I'm sorry, that's just the world we live in. Wait. Okay. So we have Cyborg, Justice League Cyborg. Why is he white? with blonde hair. Who is this man? Whose man is this? Why? And then they got this piece of shit over here. What? Who is this? Wait. Who is that? Hold on. Oh my god. Okay, that's Rick Flag. Who are these men? Who are these mystery people? No. What? Who is that? Wait, are there more? Please, God, tell me there's more. Please tell me there's more. Alright, so there's that. We have whoever that is, and whoever this is. Who packaged these? That's not Cyborg. Some kids are gonna have some disappointing Christmas.
Gonna rap with me, ay. Gonna rock with me, ay. Gonna rock with me, ay. Yeah. Shorty, love the guy. Before she knew it, she was rocking with a king. And from the jump, I told her this is how it be.